Hello, good morning to all, and welcome back to another episode of Conscious Dating Online with your host, Francis Mahan. Our conversation today will be about relationship and how the pandemic is affecting some people in their relationship, whether they are living together, which is 11% of 7 billion people, or 7 million people in America, I will say, or people who are married, or those who are in a relationship and are dealing with relationship and being close and spending a lot of time together during the pandemic. Which, if you are, you're lucky. There are so many people that are lonely, and these are very crucial times for people who are in a relationship as a test or testimony of whether your relationship will last or not. These are times where our endurance and our resiliency is being tested to the limit. Why that? We're having to spend more time with the one we love. And it's testing us to see if there is some foundation of something of value that is there that will help us. And when I say us, is anyone who is in a relationship resist and endure what we have with resiliency, patience, compassion, love, and understanding. It is a fact that relationships demand a lot of time and a lot of concentration and a lot of efforts, and sometimes even sacrifices. Sacrifices because we have to compromise depending upon what is going on, time, what is happening, how we're dealing with what is happening during the pandemic, and how strong our relationship is. I want to deliver a message specifically for people who are having a very difficult time in relationship and are either facing abuse mentally, physically, morally, and spiritually. And you may wonder why spiritually. Well, the fact is that when you are in a relationship that is testing you to the limit to see how strong you are, to see how much you can take. For example, someone who is abusive to you mentally or physically, and I know there are a lot of people who are posting on Facebook and social media how their partner is being abusing them. And I want you to know the following. Sometimes it's not even your partner's fault that they are abusive. These are behaviors that are inherited from childhood, from peer pressure, from teachers, from friends, and from parents. Unfortunately, when a kid is abused or a kid has an attitude of grandeur or he is venerated by his parents because he's handsome, intelligent, or she, and they develop this sense of self security and over self esteem to think that they're above others and they get everything that they want. Nothing is denied to them. Therefore, they have a superiority complex, and their only way they feel comfortable is getting what they want, dominating others, and using some form of force or abuse to be able to demean other people. It is unfortunate, but it happens. The one thing to understand is the following. If you're feeling anxious, if you're fearful, if the voice of this person makes you tremble and it makes you scared, if you feel that this person is threatening your self-worth and your well-being, you're being dominated, you're being controlled, And as a result, you may be abused, which is the case today in some relationships. The only reason a person will stay in a relationship without the excuses of the children, let's say you do have children, maybe you don't, is because you think that this person has control over you, that this person is stronger than you, that they can overwhelm you with their presence because you, as an individual, have allowed them to take over your personality, not so much by being suppressive, by them using a form of control that is demeaning and it is unhealthy to your emotional well being. Have you ever been with someone and you felt that this person loved you when you were in a relationship, and for some reason, years later, this person begins to act as if they hate you? Their behavior is so different. It's as if the person that loved you turned into. If you want to see an example of this characteristic or personality behavior that I'm speaking about, watch the movie with Julia Roberts called Sleeping with the Enemy. It is at a drastic behavioral action type because this guy goes to the extreme, but it teaches you how important it is, no matter whether it is in a relationship, friendship, or someone who is abusive, that facing your enemy is actually the most important thing you can do instead of fearing them, being afraid of them, and doubting yourself. Know the following: when someone treats you in a form that is inhumane, when someone is not kind or loving to you or is hateful and says things that hurt you, they're almost become your enemy because they're not cooperating with you at a human level, at an understanding and compassionate level. So, what did you do? I tell you what you can do. Because the only reason you think you are helpless is you, as an individual and as a human being, you doubt yourself. You don't think you have the power, you don't think you have the control, and you think there is no out of this situation or relationship. But remember this: the minute you, as an individual, decide to take over and wear the armor of your strength, that enemy, which in essence is only your enemy because he fears you or she, will be paralyzed. Imagine you're afraid, you look like a kid, you're in a corner, this person is abusive, you feel helpless, you're scared, you feel inhumane, you feel broken, your spirit and your soul is broken. And all of a sudden, this personality comes out of you that shows your true character as an individual. Trust me, we all possess the power and the ability to stand for ourselves. So when this armor of strength, power, and self control, and even self love, because when you begin to love yourself, all of that which you fear and your thought have control over you is gone. It's completely gone. When that armor comes, the reaction is almost the opposite. This person can no longer control you, manipulate you, hurt you, and does not allow you anymore to doubt who you are as a human being. It is incomprehensible how a simple reaction can change someone and even yourself. So, facing your enemy is the best thing you can do. And how do you face your enemy? You do not argue, You do not say the contrary to anything or their behavior, and you completely ignore their behavior without an emotional reaction. Why emotional reaction? Because the only reason that this person has gotten to you and your emotional well being and your spirit and your soul is because you and your behavior and your emotion gave in to this control and this form of abuse. Once you let go of that fear and once you begin to take control of your life, then you are completely safe. Not only with this individual, because remember, this behavior in you can also reflect in a business, in a relationship with friends, with family, peers, and the next partner. It is so interesting how we can be so intimidated by an individual, not knowing that this person is only behaving this way because in reality, they fear you. They have seen something of such a great, powerful influence in you. And the only way they can control you is to try to demean who you are as a spirit, as a human being, so that they can take control of you and you can no longer reflect the strength that you have within yourself. It is actually when you are in that situation with someone, it's almost as if once you recognize your power and your self love, it's the rebirth who you really are as an individual. And that, friends, is beautiful. The rebirth of who you are as an individual. You are powerful, you are compassionate, you are loving, you are kind, you have strength, you are incredible. So, for anyone that is going through these experiences, try practicing this. Remain firm, become strong, take a deep breath, recognize who you are, do not doubt yourself, and begin to connect with your true self, with your love, the person that you are, the individual that you are, that God has given you this power to be who you are. And you will no longer have enemies because even when an enemy comes to hurt you and you wear your armor, remember anything outside the external self is nothing. It's nothing. It's what's inside of you that cannot be melted and broken that reminds you that you are a strong human being. I am now going to give you a few words on a show that I watched years and years ago when I was first married. I was like 24 years old, and I went to New York City with my first husband. And we went to see this show that was fantastic in New York, Broadway. It was called All of That Jazz. And in All That Jazz, there is a way to express the hurting and painful of a relationship and the becoming of a new self with love. And it goes like this. It's a woman saying goodbye to her lover or ex-husband. There goes my baby with another girl. There goes my lover and my best friend. I think I'm dying in love again. Goodbye, love. Goodbye, happiness. Hello, emptiness. Bye bye, my love. Goodbye. Bye bye, my love. Goodbye. Of course, these are my own words. Then 3 years later, I met a man. We became lovers and then best friends. He really is my soulmate. Hello, life. Goodbye, emptiness. Hello, happiness. Bye bye, your love, goodbye. Bye bye, your love, goodbye. Bye bye, your love, goodbye. Bye-bye, your love, goodbye. This is the way to saying goodbye to the old love and welcome the new one into your life. I thought I put a little bit of humor into this video for those people who are out there hopeless, thinking that they're in a relationship and there is no way out. Wear your armor, wear your strength, wear your confidence and your self-love, and see how powerful you are as a woman. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure as usual. This is Francis Mahan from Conscious Dating Online. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. And